I don't ever remember when I didn't want to be in the ministry. I grew up in the ministry. My father was a pastor for over 60 years in another denomination. But he grew up in the Methodist church, and he always loved it. And so when I was around 12, 13 years old, I began to preach on Wednesday nights whenever he'd let me. So I can't ever remember when I didn't want to be in the ministry. And my good friend Bruce Bennett tells me that I have a pastor's heart, and I think that describes it. I was licensed in another denomination for many, many years and ordained in many years, and several years ago I went through a divorce and remarriage where I couldn't stay with my other denomination, and then my good friends in the Methodist church talked me into coming into the Methodist church, and I'm so glad I did, because it's been a wonderful 4 years so far. Back in the 80s, I built a church in El Dorado and got it up pretty good, and I was struggling with my own ministry and didn't feel like I was effective. And my daughter had married and moved to Hawaii, and my son-in-law was in the Air Force. And I went out to visit, and a minister friend heard I was coming and asked me to come preach. So I went to this church in Hawaii to preach, and it was just a remarkable experience. And I left Hawaii with a new charge on my life and came back to pastor my church with a whole new spirit and a whole new attitude, because I had such an effective ministry just that one night. Oh, I'm going to preach. Instead of being a part-time local pastor, I'll be a retired part-time local pastor. I plan on continuing my ministry as a pastor in a part-time situation. I want to thank my friends. I have, in the few years I've been in the Methodist church, I have made so many more friends than I ever did in any other situation. I've become friends with preachers I had never heard of or met before, and people in churches. I still have friends in every church I've pastored and every church I've been in.